everyone. This is part of our spooky 13 days of Halloween. And this is also even more exciting. It's a collaboration with MumeanStarseed. She's an amazing reader. And she's just like, she's really in tune, so you can get really good message. So it's a collaboration. So I'm doing the shadow work that, like the shadow side, like what shadow work you need to be working on. And she's doing the light work. So we're like, and I'm just excited. I have no idea. I want to find out what she says too. And so what I always recommend when I'm doing a collaboration is you take what resonates from my reading, and then you go over there and you take what resonates from her reading. And it's like a full in-depth reading is what I like to call those. So it's a nice, I enjoy them. I enjoy doing collaborations. I'm very excited to be doing it with her. It's my first collaboration with her. Oh my goodness. So if you can, when you go over to her channel and go look at her reading, just say hi and tell her that I come from my channel. Just because it's exciting. Okay, so we're doing different tarot decks. This is the TV series tarot deck, and that's one of the little buddies. On top right here, we have the Dark Mansion Tarot with a little buddy here. And you can tell this is the Haunted House Tarot with this little buddy here. So, like I said, this is all about like what we need to work on, what kind of shadow work we're going to be needing to work on. And this is, of course, live format. So, because it's the only way I can do recordings now. Because uploading is really like, can't edit. So we're just going to do it this way. So it means I don't actually have editing. I just kind of go through it. So it's a different way of doing it, but it's a fun too. So let's go ahead. I want you to take a deep breath in. Close your eyes. I actually wanted to say shift your body a little bit. Sometimes we just get like the stagnant energies like moving. And now as we exhale and open our eyes, choose whichever pile draws you to it. All right, let's do this. So like this is we're just gonna be doing this way. All right. Hello, group one. So yeah, I'm actually just gonna be pulling cards for you. So it's gonna be exciting. I love the UX this guy. So here is a skeleton. So maybe we have skeleton in our closet. Maybe there's something that needs to be worked on in terms of like past that we haven't let go of quite yet. Well, let's go into it. First, we're gonna do tarot. Then we're gonna do. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do tarot first. I was like, am I doing tarot first? I'm like, yeah, we'll do tarot first, and then we do oracle cards. So what shadow work does the collective of group one need to be doing right now? Like, what shadow work? What's holding them back? What shadow work needs to be the collective of group one? Shadow work needs to be the collective of group one. What shadow work is? Okay. We have the Magician energy, Three of Pentacles energy, okay. And then Ace of Cups energy. Wow. It's like, oh, that's shadow work. I like this. Okay, what shadow work does my collective group I need to be working on? Okay, Five of Cups, and then Seven of, okay. Can you see it? Let me make sure you can see kind of well. All right, so the one I have, no, I like this setup right now. I'm actually going to see something now. Okay. I just wanted to see what the bottom of the deck energy is, and it's the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this over here a little bit. Because this is the shadow work. I can see for me, you're actually doing quite lovely. Okay, because what I'm seeing here is like the overall energy here is okay. I might clarify this, but what I'm seeing here right now is there's a sense of, especially because I'm using the Knight of Pentacles as sort of what is underneath it all. So So what I want to know is, like, I wanted to read it in two ways. For some of you, it might just be that you are a little bit too focused on getting it right. So like being like getting it perfect. And this could be in terms of, maybe in terms of work, it might be in terms of love, but it's sort of like I'll put this guy here so you can kind of know. Too focused on the perfection rather than actual motion. I feel like what we need is a little motion here. So this is what I'm kind of getting here. It's sort of that, again, and you know, it's fine that you want things to be good, but I feel like there's a sense of like really wanting it to be perfect, like this energy of like inspecting everything until like you're like, no, it has to be like just right, it has to be perfect. So let's talk about how, you know, when I write, which is I haven't done it in a while, but as a writer, which are intended writer here, one of the things that I tend to do is that I can kind of get stuck on trying to make something really perfect, or even just the idea, let's say, and it's not even where you're actually at the point of even writing. It's sort of, I feel like whatever ideas, whether it's love, whether it's, you know, career or everything, you have this idea, or like you desire, let's call it, you have a desire and you want to create it, and you just feel like, I really have to go, like, you know, it has to be perfect before I move forward, right? But what I'm seeing here is that that's actually sort of, I wouldn't say the ego, but maybe the ego a little bit. But what I'm seeing here is it's sort of your excuse. You're like, you're not there yet, so I can't do this because I'm not perfecting this, and that's sort of what it is. Because I feel like there's a need for you to motion forward is what I'm getting. It's like that you haven't been allowing the motion to come through here. I actually really like that you chose this deck for this. And again, look at this. The crime scene again is sort of like looking at the inspection, and this is the 5 of Cups. So this could be that you're focusing way too much on the past, focusing on past mistakes. You're like, I messed this up, or like this didn't work out how I wanted it to be, and you're missing that something did work out, something that was important actually did. So what I'm always like kind of called to is, sometimes we have those mistakes or those bumps on the roads, but there's a blessing to all of them. I always really believe whatever happens, there's always a blessing, a silver lining to everything, and you're not seeing them, you're missing them. And that's actually being spoken here with this Ace of Cups, because you kind of can almost see here, it's like the Ace of Cups is being spilled, and there's like a message that's being brought here. And this is, for me, it feels like this is your divine the divine intelligence, or spirit, or God, or whoever is like giving you this sign here. It's like, yes, we want you to give this. We want you to give you the 2 of Cups. We've given you the Ace of Cups, but you're sort of like spilling it. You're not even, it's like there's this lack of appreciation a little bit. Not calling you out in anything. I'm just saying that there's a sense of like, you just kind of like you again, noticing like, and this is something that I feel like you beat yourself up hard about this. Like you kind of are like, oh, I made this mistake. So basically the overall energy for me is a bit too perfectionist. Lovely, like I understand wanting to get everything right. I really do. But sometimes our perfectionism, right, wanting to get it perfect, and that's the thing, wanting to get everything perfect, wanting to like, even like here, you're like, I have to learn from the lessons, but you're not seeing the blessings. You're not seeing, even in the mistakes, you're not seeing that there was something that was valuable here. This Ace of Cups is like, again, sort of like, you're piled up. It feels like there's a stagnation of things, like emotions here as well, or like desires. You're like, but you're not moving forward. And I really feel like that's the energy here. I want you to move forward. I think Spirit wants you to move forward. It's like Spirit is like saying, you don't have to get it perfect. You just have to kind of get going, get it doing it. Like the only way to actually get better at something is to do it often, right? And this is like, I almost feel like the spirit told me, like, you gotta just write, you gotta write, you know, like you don't have to get it perfect. You don't, you know, that's how we learn. And I feel like maybe for some of you, you're writers, or maybe you're artists, or maybe this is love and you're like, oh, I want this perfect relationship or a perfect person. It's like, well, you know, that isn't, that's, you can't. It's like, sorry, there's no perfect relationship and there's no perfect person. It's sort of a learning. I always like the idea of alchemy, like the alchemy of our energies, of two people as energies just kind of coming together. And there's a sense of communication, very important, and compromising is very important, right? So that's how you get the quote unquote perfect relationship. There is no perfect relationship. There's always, like, you know, there's going to be things that annoy you about the other person. It's just how it is. And I'm sure there's things about you that annoy the other person as well. So it's sort of like you're trying for this ideal. And in trying for this ideal, it's sort of like you're using that as a way of saying, I don't have to do stuff. I'm sorry. So I'm bleeding here. And so we have this manifestation with the magician. I feel like, and it's sort of, I love this because it's like from 1 to 7. You actually are, there's a motion that needs to be done here. And again, it's sort of like, I'm just saying, okay, and the 1, yeah. It's sort of like you have the ability to manifest the things that you want, right? You have the ability to, I almost feel like, to even get that perfect kind of like ideal, but you're just sort of not using your own, you're not using your full extent of power. You're just sort of like, no. The 2 might be an important number here too. The duality of things. And so the 3 of Pentacles feels like again, it's sort of like looking at, like you're so nitpicking at things. I feel like, I'm sorry, this is like, I don't want to be rude or anything, but that's how you're nitpicking at things. And it's sort of like, it might even drive other people crazy. You'll be a little hard to work with because you're so focused on the detail. I almost want to say to you, like, you need the hawk's eye view. You need to take a little distance from things from a different perspective, things from because I feel like you're so zoomed in on like the regrets, so zoomed in on like the faults of things, of people, of even yourself. You're seeing the faults, but not the blessings, not the, like the love, the offers, like all the things that are being here. You're just like, nope, I'm too focused on this. I'm going to actually clarify though, because, well, I'm not going to clarify them all, but I do want to clarify that magician energy. I was like, and so let's clarify a little bit, just because. Yes, we're going to clarify this. So let's see, what is this? What is this magician energy doing here? What is this magician doing? What is this magician doing here? What is this magician doing here? What's this magician doing here? What's this magician doing here? The King of Pumpkins. Okay. Yeah. All right. And I just want one more. What is this magician doing here? What's the magician doing here? Oh. It's interesting because there's a lot of energy here in terms of like, because I wanted just one more, but then they came 3 out here. So the King of Pumpkins, again, I'm going to actually put this, and it's sort of like a different way of looking at it. Like, this is going to be interesting because I feel like you might be at this stage of where you are the Knight energy, the Knight of Pentacles, but you really, by your strength, your ability to manifest this magician energy, you could definitely be at this King of Pumpkins. So there's already like, I almost feel like all the desires you've been wanting and you've been nitpicking at or like trying to perfect, you haven't been taking like full action here. or you're very slowly action. And I get it why you want it, but it just feels like there's like a sense like you could already be the king of pumpkins. You could already have all the things that you've been wanting. But then there's a sense of, so this is why I'm saying, because the Knight of Imps again is sort of like a reminder. Yes, the Knight of Imps is sort of like is I would say kind of the opposite of the Knight of Pentacles. And I'm not saying that being the Knight of Pentacles is bad. It's actually quite lovely, the energy. But since we're doing this as the shadow work, I'm saying here as the Knight of Imps is like sort of just goes after the things that they want without really anything to really slow them down. They just kind of go like, passion, okay, I have desires, let's move forward, right in there. Like, there's that fire energy. And then with the Page of Bats, which is the Page of Swords, it's sort of like there's also a sense of truth that needs to come through as well. Like maybe even spoken directions, saying things. But for me, it's almost like a sense of, oh yeah, it's the page energy, which I like because it's sort of saying it doesn't have to be perfect. And just like the Page of Swords, in just the page, is sort of like we're just going to go into it. It's the student of stuff. It's just like we're going to learn it as we go. It really is. And the bad energy is sort of like looking at it maybe a little intellectual, like maybe being a little bit detached, because I do feel like you're very much attached to things. That's why you're trying to like really focus in on these like fine details, not moving forward. And actually, if you notice this, you have a lot of pentacle energy. You have the Knight of Pentacles there, you have the Three of Pentacles, and then you also have emotions as well with the Ace of Cups. But I feel like what I'm seeing here is that you need a little bit more fire energy coming through, fire energy. So there's like passion, creativity, and moving, like there's motion there, right? The fire is like intense. And then you also need the sword energy here, which is a little like intellectual, like a little detachment, just kind of like, because I think you're too into it in a sense. I hope that makes sense. But I really do think, I actually wanted to clarify that Ace of Cups, because I see it as like there's an opportunity that you're kind of missing because you are way too fixated on this spilled milk, regrets. And I really do feel like the universe is saying you got to move forward. you can't fix the past, and that's the thing. That's a beautiful one. You can't fix the past. You can work on the now, and that's gonna help you, but you can't fix the past. All right, let's see what this Ace of Cups energy is doing here. What is this Ace of Cups doing here? What is this Ace of Cups doing here? What is this Ace of Cups doing here? Okay, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, again, this for me is sort of saying like luck is on your side. Like things, what you want really wants to come to you. Like, and that's also the Magician energy. What you want wants to come to you, but you keep on postponing. You keep on nitpicking. Keep on trying to like. It's sort of like you're really sabotaging yourself in some way by not actually taking the action, just doing it. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be. You got to learn as you go, and not dwell on mistakes, because it's like that's how we're learning. It's like you want it to be perfect, but you can't. You gotta learn. You only get better by doing, and that's sort of like, I almost feel like kind of like your affirmation. I do want to see what this Knight of Pentacles is saying. Justice, balance. So yeah, finding this balance, finding a balance between, yes, being very good and stable, like like the Knight of Pentacles is like can lay the groundwork, very strong and solid groundwork, but if you're too focused on that, right, if you're not going to move. So I feel like it's almost like you're the Knight of Pentacles. That's like, he's like, that energy is always slow moving, and that's okay, but there's a slow and steady. Here you're just kind of not moving, and that's what I'm seeing here. So like universe is saying you gotta move, you gotta keep moving, because all the things you want are there. You can have them. You already have them. Even here, there's a progress. You go from the Magician to the 7. It's there, but you gotta allow sort of coming through. And I love that you have the Justice and the Wheel of Fortune as well, because those things are what I'm seeing here is the universe. The Wheel of Fortune is like, we're trying to, like, we keep giving you Ace of Cups, we keep giving you what you want, but you keep on kind of missing missing it out. You keep on spelling it, not seeing the blessings in things. So you got to find this balance here. So very beautiful. I'm going to actually clear out the tarot, and we're going to do the oracle cards now. So I'm like, or at least this guy's. Actually, we'll keep these guys here. Sorry. I'm like, I was going to clear out, but I really actually just want to clarify that. Okay, I'll do this way. Sorry. I changed my mind stuff. So you actually, this would all have been edited had I edit stuff, but I'm not going to edit because I'm just filming live. Okay. So we're going to see what other, and I'm going to be using, for the next two, I'm going to be using V11 Tarots of her fall goodies. So I have, this is the Autumn's Delight, and then I'm also going to do the Salem Sister. So that's good. Okay. So what shadow work does the collective of group one need to work on? Like, what does shadow work does the collective of group one need to work on? What's preventing them? What's blocking them at this time? Territorial. Okay. So maybe you're a bit too territorial. Oh, I see. Okay. Now I'll say it as we go. But what is preventing shadow work? What's shadow? Preferences. Okay. And caution. Okay. At the bottom of the deck is intrusion. I'm actually going to leave it there. I was going to only use 3, but we're going to use these guys. Okay, so territorial, I'm feeling like, and it's like blocking your talent. I feel like this energy is blocking your talent a little bit. So I'm going to put this on top here. Okay, sorry. I kind of just go like this. Help this. Let me see if I can just make this so it kind of. Okay, perfect. All right, so what I'm seeing with the territorial, it's sort of, well, maybe that 3 of Pentacles, you don't play well with others. And it's not because you don't want to play well with others. It's because, again, you have this sense of like, if I want things done right, I have to do it myself, right? It's sort of like you have a very specific, I get preferences, specific way of doing things. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that that is okay. Like I'm like, I get that. I get it. But I feel like you extended way in too many different directions, right? You can be that way, let's say, in something that really matters to you, like in your talent growing, like in some sort of project. But I feel like you take it on into too many areas. And so I feel like that makes it hard. I also feel like, I'm like, well, you're here for shadow work. Maybe you butt into my other people too much. You want, you're very opinionated, right? And then again, it's not a judgment here in terms of that. It's sort of like, sometimes people don't want our opinions. And I say this lovingly. Some, like we have ideas like, yeah, somebody might be like, you're doing it wrong, right? If you did it this way, it would be faster, or this way, it would be better, right? But the thing is, first of all, some people don't want that. They like certain somebody, they like to do it their way, right? So even though it might drive you crazy, like there's an easier, faster way, they themselves like to do it a certain way, right? And just like you like to do it in yours. Just saying that. And then there's another aspect here is that, and I feel like for some of you that this is a big thing, because I feel like you overwhelm yourself, like you load yourself up on all these things. And that's why I feel like it's okay for you to be like specific about certain things, like things that really matter to you. Yes, 100%. You should put in, you should be doing it yourself. But if it's something that is really like, kind of like, if it doesn't really matter, then why worry about whether it has to be a certain way? Like if it doesn't matter, if it's like, I haven't, like, I want to say something with like how you clean the house or something, but like, it just like, it's okay. It's sort of like not trivial things is what I'm saying, because you kind of overwhelm yourself with even trivial things. Important things, definitely go for it. It's important to you, 100%. Do it the way you want to do it. You're in charge of that, totally. But trivial stuff, it's all right, my friend. It's all right. You don't have to worry about that. I feel like that's energy that you're draining from things that are important. And this intrusion, I want to say, is sort of like you want to help people, a lovely sentiment, but sometimes, like how we have to learn through our mistakes. So this intrusion, I feel like it's like you want to help them, and you might even just kind of take over. That's why I'm like, you may not necessarily play that well with others, because you have this energy, like, and let me give you the very beautiful energy of you. You have a very much a strong leadership quality. You have this like strong and strength. You have a vision and all these wonderful things, but and this is the big but. Those are beautiful things, and 100%. You have to let others learn from their mistakes. You have to let others make mistakes. You have to let others do things their way. And I feel like that's sort of like the thing here, that where it's like, oh, you want to take over. I feel like such a strong like perfectionist energy here, like and such. I almost want to say, like, again, higher perspective, and just allowing, like, it's all right. It's okay if somebody doesn't do it just the way that you like to do it, unless it has something like it's super important to you. If it's something important, yes, trivial stuff, let it go. I'm just saying that. And this is caution here. I have to say, this is sort of like, oh, okay, I got it. I was like, oh, I don't, okay, you're too cautious. It's sort of like, again, it's sort of like you don't move forward because you have to, like, it's sort of like everything has to be, you have to do a whole tons of research. You have to do, I'm gonna like talk about, like, you just kind of, I feel like you use that as sort of a way, you self-sabotage in a way, because you're so cautious that it almost feels like you're not actually taking any action at all. Right? Because you're like, I have to research everything, I have to get it all right, and I feel like Spirit's saying, like, it's okay. Things, like, life is messy. You don't try to, like, try to perfect it all. It's like, allow. If anything, that's like a sense of like allowing, and mistakes are not a bad thing. It's also something that I feel like is important. So let's go with the Salem sisters. What shadow work does the collective of group one need to work on? What shadow work does the collective of group one need to work on? Okay, look at this. Autumn, harvest, abundance, and change. So I feel like you have the ability to be more abundant. You have a lot, like, I feel like that's the thing that Spirit keeps telling me here, or like, like, here it is. It's like you have this, like, I feel like you struggle with certain ways, with certain things. Like, you have these amazing ideas, you have talent, you have all these things, but you're not letting yourself grow. And there needs to be a change, because you're meant for something, like you are meant to have all the things that are that you've been wanting. Look, you have luck, right? So I feel like there's a sense of needing to rediscover your inner child, like rediscover the sense of like not having to be perfect. Making mistakes is okay. I almost feel like I want to like challenge you a little bit and say, hey, like, do things like messy. How do I say? Like, even just like maybe do finger paint or some sort of paint where things just get messy and where you don't actually have, it almost feels like you want to have control, just allowing yourself to lose control in terms of like painting. Like, just do messy painting, just let things get a little messy. I feel like too much control here. So death, allowing, it's like needs to, and this is the perfect thing. It's sort of like, I do feel like the past does keep haunting you. You feel like the past is like, you're so stuck on maybe the mistakes you've done, where you feel like, oh, like you're like, you're still that person. And you're like, no, you're not. there's a lot of growth here. You're not acknowledging yourself, and that's an overall energy here. You're not acknowledging the growth you've had. You're not acknowledging yourself as, you know, like as this person. Yes, you have gifts. You like I said, I can list them all. If you want to list all hear those, then you go to MumeanStarseed and go check out her reading. But what I'm seeing here is that allow the dead to stay dead, and I'm saying this in a loving way. Like, allow the past to stay in the past. You made, like, there were mistakes, things you maybe you regret. Well, it's okay. Like, you've moved forward from now. You are now here. You are not in the past. You cannot correct the past. You cannot change the past. It just isn't. But you can definitely live in the now and change the future if that's what you want. But I feel like you beat yourself up over and over and over from past mistakes. It's like, no, it's the death. It's an ending. Let that be the death, the ending. Let the dead stay dead. Oof. Oh, I'm like, oh, this is, I could see why we have those. And so the skeleton is sort of like, you just kind of keep it there. And I feel like it's sort of there, always nagging. I'm almost hearing like a voice, just like a creepy voice saying, like, you know, like, oh, not worth it. I'm not worthy, or like, I'm not enough. So I'm just saying, no, that's not true at all. Like, we need to work on that voice as well. Let's go ahead and see, and really focusing. I really have to say, focusing on yourself. I think you tend, maybe I'm wrong, again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You tend to focus too much on others because you don't really want to focus too much on yourself. Like it's a lot easier. I get it. It's a lot easier to tell others what to do, you know, like how to fix their life. But often we forget to focus on our own inner healing. And this is why this shadow work is so important, right? This is important. I actually was like, hey, let me do this, because I have my own shadow work to do. I like, what, you know, I hear you, my friend. I hear you, like I said. All right, let's see what other shadow work you need to do for the collective of group 3. And this is my spooky oracle, Mystics Night Sight, spooky Halloween tarot. Oh, not tarot, but oracle. I was like, oh, I don't know why. There's rewards. Again, like, there's a sense of rewards, like the Ace of Cups. Like, they have the Ace of Cups. You have things like that are rewards, but you're not seeing them. It's sort of like, no, you're not. Projection, yeah. Okay, I like that one. And like one more, my friends. Give me one more. Terror, yes. And then offering. Okay. I like this one because it's sort of telling me a lot of different things here. So, as I was saying, you have a lot of rewards. You have the Ace of Cups, but you're not seeing it. It's sort of like you're taking them for granted. You're like, oh, yeah. So let's say people are saying, compliment you. You're just like, oh, yeah. Like, they compliment you on an amazing job. They compliment you on different things. Maybe somebody, compliments you on, hey, you're really like, you know, like, I find you attractive. You're like, this quality about you I really like. You just brush it off. You're not listening. You're not hearing like what is being really, the rewards, the Ace of Cups. You're not hearing this. You're not allowing yourself to really have it. And yet, and it feels like with this projection, it feels like, you know, like, it's like, I really do want to say, like, you project onto others the things, like, so whatever it is that you've been nitpicking at others, like, oh, this person doesn't, it's sort of, I want you to put a mirror there. Like, what is it? So if this person is not doing a good enough job in so-and-so, like, I feel like there's a projection there. It could be the projection that, hey, you need to work on that. It could be a projection that you don't feel like you're doing enough in a certain way. It could also be that projection that you yourself are like, there's a judgment there for you. You judge yourself too harshly. So there's a sense here of like, you keep on projecting onto others. And that's something we do need to work on. So whatever it is, whatever you're seeing, like the nitpicking at others, and again, it's sort of like, I get it. I feel like you're trying to reach perfection, but I really do feel that that's your way of dealing with this fear of like, I feel like there's a sense of fear of losing control over something, a fear of actually maybe not like making mistakes, of not doing it perfect, and so there's this fear that's like it's there. It's terrifying to you that you like that maybe you might be wrong. And I'm like, oh, and here I am telling you, you know what? It's okay to be wrong. Like, it's okay, and it's also okay to say you're wrong. It's okay to realize that your position in a something is not. It had been came from a place that was wrong. Like, in terms of like, how do I say it? If our basis is like not correct, how would I, because I don't want to, but yeah, let's say your basis could say that I'm not good enough because of blah blah blah, but in reality that's not true. Like that you're not good enough, and your basis is actually off completely. Like, you could say I'm not smart because, let's say, some like third or second grade teacher told you, oh, you know, like maybe you failed or you failed a test, or you did something way back then. That was not, well, it wasn't true there. It was just like, maybe they weren't a good teacher and you weren't learning from them. It had, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, you take on all these things from the past, and you kind of are keeping them. Those false beliefs, those false narratives, you're keeping them. And not only are you keeping them in here and inside you, and I feel really strongly feel that you are very critical of yourself. You're critical on others, and you, the projection is that it's sort of like that like I said, that voice is really harsh and it's not nice, and it's not even that, it's not even true. It's like, oh, you're not enough. No, you are. Why I made a mistake. Yeah, so so what? It's like, and it terrifies you. It's just there, and you're not like, oh my goodness. And now, so you're missing out on the rewards. You're missing out on what's being here. This offering, I keep on, like, it's sort of like you keep on doing, like, I feel like penance, or like on things that you've done, like mistakes you've done in the past. It's sort of like you keep on doing that. It's sort of like, no, it's okay. That was a mistake. It's all right. It's sort of like, we think it's the end of the world. It's like, it's not the end of the world, my friend. Like, allow the dead to stay dead. I feel like, let the past be the past. You learn from it. You moved on. You're a different person. We need to, like, I feel like you need to shift that narrative, because those old narratives are no good. That your old system of, like, how you dealt with things is it's no longer valid. That's what I was going to say. And so this offering, I also wanted to clarify, because I'm like, this is a sort of like, I feel like you keep offering. You keep on, like, it just feels like there's penance here, but it's also a sense here of, like, you're not connecting to your intuition, for some of you, maybe you are mediums. You're not connecting to this, your abilities. Yes. And your feelings, not connecting that there as well. But I feel like you're more intuition. I feel like very much a medium. You're not kind of, you're avoiding that as well. And so I'm going to say that. I think I'm going to just, I do want to get, like, what we can do. Like, because we have a lot of, like, different things. I do want to, let's see. I'm sorry. Like, I'm like, what do I want to, how do I want to do this? Okay. All right. I think that's the best. All right. Sorry. I want to, two things. I'm actually going to finish this off this way because I talked too much, and I apologize for that. See? Okay. But I want to give you some advice. So what advice can the collective of group one get? What can we give the collective of group one? Intensity. The universe has brought you this experience to help you tame your fire, seek clarity on what to embrace and what to let go of now. And so, yes, you do have your personality is intense, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But you tend to put that intensity towards if that's the thing. Okay, if you could shift that intensity into this instead of into nitpicking, into going into trying to find out what's wrong, but rather use that intensity to find the blessings in that you keep getting, because there is a lot of blessing, and start manifesting the things you do want rather the things that you don't want. I really do like this, and I wanted to do an affirmation for you, and this is by Moon Moth Goddess, the Mystic Dream Affirmation. What affirmation will really help the collective of group 1? What affirmation would really help the collective of group 1? What affirmation can really help the collective? Oh boy. I love it. Oh, love it. Look at this. I forgive my past and I let it go. That is it. Oh, I drop right there. That is exactly it. Thank you. It's perfectly said. It was perfectly done. And I'm going to leave it here because it's just beautiful. So there you go. Please go check out MysticstarSeed. She has the light side. So I was a little rough. And if it offended you, I apologize. But this is the shadow work, right? I have to I listen to my own stuff, and I'm going to pick a pile and I'll hear what it has to say. But and I could take definitely knowledge, certain things here as well from it. That's the beautiful thing. It's you have it. In saying all these things, it's I just want you to know that you're really awesome, but you keep on self-sabotaging, and I feel like it's time for you to let go and really allow yourself to be the amazing, beautiful light that you and soul that you are meant to be. So with that, thank you so much for letting me read your cards. It means so much to me. I am sending you so much love and so much light until I see you in the next one. Bye-bye, my dear friends. All right, so we're just going to clear everything up. Sorry about that. Collective of group. We're going to go for the collective of group 2 here. Yeah. All right, let's move collective of group 1. We were going to do collective of group 2. Okay. All right. Hello, my friends from Collective of Group 2. Hello, my friends from Group 2. I'm excited. Oh, I really love that you chose the ghost. Sorry. I actually really like this. My aunt made these. I got this at the Dollar Tree, but she put them together and she put the little funny eyes. So let's actually see. We got Group 1. I just realized something. Please go check out MysticstarSeed. She actually has the light side part, so I'm doing the shadow work. She's doing the light work, and so I would highly recommend to go check her out. I'm also, since this is shadow work, I'm going to be telling it like it is, or so how I see it. So it might be offensive. So trigger warning. I didn't do a trigger warning at this, but there should be a trigger warning. So, but if you're here for the shadow work, I'm sure you're hey, let's get to it, right? Let's do it, because this is how we grow. I'm 100%. This is why I actually chose to do the shadow work instead of the light work, because I actually like to do this. I like to see where I need to grow. So let's go ahead and see what you need to do for group 2. So group 2, what shadow work for the collective of group 2 is. Okay, Queen of Swords. The work that needs to be done for the collective of group 2. King of Swords as well. Okay. Okay, I kind of get it. All right, let's see what else. Shadow work. What shadow work does the collective of group 2 need to work on? Sorry if my shuffling is a little loud. Okay, the 4 of Wands. Nice, lovely. Okay, 2 more cards, please, Spirit. 2 more cards, please, Spirit. Shadow work. Okay. All right, Trio of Wands, and then the... Okay. I'm actually seeing what's the bottom of the deck. Page of Cups. So we are working on this. Okay. All right. So I feel like one of the things you need to work on is balancing your divine masculine and divine feminine. I also feel like there is a sense of needing to, your emotions are, you need to work on your emotions a little bit here. Yes, I do feel like, because the Page of Cups. So, especially because of the Queen of Swords. So I'm going to say here in a very gentle manner, you might need to, like, not be less blunt, but maybe be considerate of how you say things to others, or how you, yeah, like, how you express yourself. And I get it. I think you're some, like, a truth sayer, but sometimes maybe you're a little too rough with your truths. And I know I just said that, the thing, I just said it about myself, but that is true. I'm often a Queen of Swords energy, so I get ya. I do feel like, and we're going to clarify those because those two are interesting. There, I also feel like there's a sense of a connection here as well that needs to be cleared here, because I feel like, look, I see this, and then I see the Four of Wands. So I feel like for some of you, I see. For some of you, it's sort of like maybe your shadow work has to do with like being ghosted or ghosting somebody, like a connection in the past. And so this is not for everybody. It's not for like all of you, but it just feels like there is that something that's there. Yeah, I do feel like Three of Wands. Maybe there's a sense of like you kind of are not sure where to go anymore. It sort of feels like you're waiting on something, right? But so that might be something that we need to work on, not waiting, but rather doing a little bit of group two, a group one, I mean. And then the Ten of Swords energy here. Oof. Okay, this is a sort of, well, for some of you, actually, well, okay, I feel like you are empaths in a sense here, but it also feels like you take on, and with the empath, you take on other people's, like, not only energy, but you take on other people's, take criticism, maybe not well. Like, it's okay to be critiqued, right? I almost feel like, but it's like if somebody says something not about you, anything, you kind of like take it a little bit too hard. Sorry, I'm just gonna drink some water. Okay, all right, so I'm getting at something here, and I want you to tell me if it's true or not. So I feel like for some of you, you actually portray this Queen of Swords, or even the King of Swords energy. You portray this like hard exterior, right? And even maybe you even have biting remarks, but you really are actually quite soft and tender inside. And so I feel like you kind of you're not really being true to yourself in a certain way. But we're going to clarify this, because it sort of feels like, but it really just feels like there's a Page of Cups energy, and that's all about expressing your emotions and actually feeling them. And there's a sort of a softness there that I feel like you actually do have it, but you portray a totally different exterior to others. And then so they might be, back or something. Or you might even be using those biting remarks as a way to keep yourself safe. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and let's go on. Let's go ahead and clarify this, because it's important. I want to see why this Queen of Swords is doing here. The Lover's energy, yeah, okay. What's this Queen of Swords doing here? Actually, I want to know the okay, we're actually gonna. Seven of Bats, yeah, masking. I really do think that you do that. I think that's how you protect yourself. You protect yourself by maybe being highly critical of others, but not, or like expressing yourself harshly, or being maybe a little critical. I'm not gonna lie, I get it. I'm a little judgmental myself, or I'm working on not being as much, but I've toned it down a lot. But there's a sense of needing, like, I feel like you do this to keep yourself safe. So with the Lovers here, I'm almost gonna say, yeah, see, it's sort of like you're afraid, and I really feel like it was like you're such a tender, gentle soul, but you portray this like hard exterior, and so the masking's gotta go, my friend. It's okay to have boundaries, but you prickle up because you're so afraid. Oh, such a gentle soul. What's this King of Swords energy? Page of Empty. Interesting. Okay, all right, we got this. All right, this is actually interesting, quite interesting. Okay, what's this Four of Wands doing here? What's this Four of Wands doing here? We have the Hermit. Okay. Okay. What is this Three of Wands energy? What is this Three of Wands energy? What's this Three of Wands energy? Oh, Page of Ghosts, Page of Cups again. Okay. Page of Cups is a strong one for you, my friends. Okay, and what's this Ten of Swords doing here? The Sun and Eight of Bats. Okay, all right. Oh, wow. I really like your energy, just by the way, because it sort of reminds me a little bit of how I used to be a lot too. All right, so we say that you've been masking, you've been protecting yourself by being prickly. Gentle. So there's a sense of masking, needing that. And the Lovers, I feel like for some of you, it definitely has to do with a lot with love here. You have been sort of like it scares you. It scares you to get hurt. It scares you. So you put up a front, you put up this thing where you're you're like, I'm super tough, I don't need anybody. But in reality, that's not true at all. You really do want love. You do want connections. You do want stability. For some of you, maybe that is something that you haven't acknowledged, that maybe you want this. You want love, you want stability, you might even marriage, you want the commitment, you want these things. I also feel like for some of you, you also feel like you detach yourself so you don't have to feel like the emotions here. With this Page of Imps clarifying that King of Swords, it's sort of like it feels like you try to detach, very logical. Don't try to feel this sense of passion. I feel like the Page of Imps is trying to tell me it's like what is basically, I'm looking at this as you hiding who you really are. And I feel like that King of Swords is also doing that, like looking at things very logically. I don't feel emotions, there's no passion. There's that aspect here. But in reality, you're sort of wanting to feel the passion. You kind of go off and explore things, especially with passion, desires. It's sort of like you want to have fun, but you don't allow yourself to. And I see this as, it's like you're wearing that mask, those two masks, but I do feel like you need to kind of balance your divine feminine and divine masculine here as well. And it might be that you need to work on a connection from the past, because that feels like maybe for some of you, it really does feel like there's a connection here that is still haunting you, that we need to work on here. And part of that is actually expressing your emotions. So it feels for me like there's two ways that I can look at it. You yourself are the two energies, which is, the divine masculine and feminine, but you both portrayed those two energies very analytically, cold, detached, because it's sort of because you're really inside, and here's the masking that is true, very gentle, very you passionate, you have this, but you have to portray this because I feel like in the past you were hurt. You were hurt by others possibly. But I also want to say that for some of you, this is actually a connection that's still haunting you to this day. It's sort of like the shadow work needs to be done. So I would say maybe for some of you have a twin flame connection here, definitely with the Four of Wands. That seems like that's a possibility. So your shadow work is actually it's you working on yourself, right? But it's also in allowing yourself to really be who you are, you are more emotional, much more tender, much more loving, very soft, very sweet soul, but you portray yourself as something else. And so for some of you, this is actually, that's why it's sort of like a weird reading, because it's like I can feel that it could be one person, but I could also feel that this is definitely kind of like a twin flame kind of connection, that you have to work on your shadow work and they have to work on their shadow work. But both of you are like, you're very much mirror of each other. And so there is, with the Hermit here, it's sort of like in needing to go within yourself. And I kind of like experiment, allowing the alchemy of things to happen. And how do I mean that? I mean, I feel like a lot of you are afraid of love or connection, and really connecting at a very strong level. And I feel like that's something we need to kind of work on. It's like not looking so much as like in the past, because I feel like that was the hurt, but like allowing things to kind of work themselves out here, trying and experiment here now, where you are currently. Hope that makes sense. The Hermit energy, like you're kind of going in within yourself. I also feel like maybe for some of you try to like, I don't want love or anything like that, and you'll repeat this mantra to me or the thing, but you really do want it. You're just kind of in your hermit. So I feel like universe is saying like, nope, it's time for you to kind of be out and about, more expressive, more out there, rather than being in a hermit mode, because that's the way you actually get the things that you want. And I really do feel like you are capable of it. Now, the Three of Wands energy is very fascinating to me, that we have the Page of Ghosts, Page of Cups. It's sort of like you're waiting for some of you, it is that you're waiting for this person. So like if the twin flame makes sense to you, if you're waiting for somebody, you're waiting for them to express themselves, to really have this, like messages of love, like you are waiting for them. And maybe for some of you, it's needing to acknowledge that that's a truth for you. That the longing, but I kind of almost want to say maybe you have to express it. And so here I am going to say, so twin flames, you may, for those of you who this is the twin flames, you might need to actually express it, not necessarily to them, but maybe just writing your emotions out, like expressing how your feelings are. Writing it out might be something for some of you. For some of you, it is all about daydreaming about what you need to do next. Like daydream, they kind of almost coming up with a plan. Because I feel like you don't allow yourself to daydream. You're a very serious kind of person, or you want to be seen as a very, but like daydreaming, like I almost feel like there's a sense of you needing to daydream your future optimistically. I hope that makes sense. And okay, so the 10 of Swords here that we have, I do find it fascinating. I'll clarify that in just a bit. But so you restrict yourself with this. I really do feel like you are 100% empath. So I feel like a lot of your energy, a lot of you take a lot of other people's energy, a lot of their emotions, and you kind of put it on yourself. And I feel like that's not something you need to do. But I also feel like you restrict yourself a lot. You worry a lot. There's the option of happiness, of joy, of fulfillment. It's sort of like you also let the past be like, the past kind of like binds you to like, I can't move forward. I'm like, no, but I really like, I feel like a very strong part of your soul is like saying, no, I want the happiness. I want the joy. I want to like no longer tie myself to any kind of pain and suffering. And I'm going to say something here that may offend others, may offend some people. Again, the Queen of Sword energy here. You think that by you suffering, and this is not for everybody, but by you suffering, that if you suffer, then you make you can't be happy because there's people who are suffering, or like you have to suffer too. And I have to say that's not true. I have to tell you, I always for a long time, I'm still an existentialist, but I'm an existentialist, yeah. So existential, if you actually read most existentialist books, they define that existence, the meaning of life, the existence is that you are meant to suffer. And I could see why most people think that, and I could see why they came up with the conclusion, but that is not, from what I've experienced, that's not truth that is not true. And I want to say this to you, though you are meant to be happy. You are meant to enjoy life. You are meant to shine your light, right? Not to like, because I feel like you're constricting yourself. You're making yourself into this. No, you're meant to be happy. How do you get to be happy? Allowing yourself to be happy. Do not constrict yourself. Do not like take on any other people's pain and say it's like, and make it yours. No, it's okay. And here I'm going to say another thing. In order to be the light, for others, there you have to be happy. You have to, like, there has to be joy in your life, right? You cannot suffer for others. I get it. You can feel their pain. You can understand them. But the only way, like I actually think about it is like you encourage, you bring this, like, you raise the vibration by enjoying your own life. I hope that makes sense, because I feel like for some of you take down so much from others, and I feel like that's not what you need to do. It's like it's not like, it's not what spirit wants for you, for sure. It's like you find yourself. It's sort of like you can't allow yourself to be happy. You can't allow yourself to see this happiness. Like, yes, you can't be happy. You can't have the love. You can't. I don't know why, but I feel like I need to tell you that. It's like, no, you really can, and you should. It's like it's what spirit wants for you. The meaning of life is actually to enjoy it, to have this, to enjoy the magic of the world. This is the existence. We are alive for this, to enjoy the magic and the wonder that is life, right? So what's this Page of Cups doing here? So it's like Page of Cups is just wanting to come out. What's this Page of Cups doing here? Ace of Imps. Ace of Imps. Beginning. Okay. Then it's the Tower moment too. Okay. So the Tower moment for me here with this, it's sort of like whatever happened, whatever maybe caused this Ten of Swords, I feel like maybe you have gone through something, but I feel like you also take on other people. I really feel like you're very much an empath. So you take on a lot of other people's energy. And I feel like the universe is saying, like, nope, you gotta put the boundaries up. You can't, that's not really helping. And I feel like whatever happened in the past, whatever Tower moment in the past, it was necessary for you to have a new beginning, for you to have this Ace of Imps. It's like, I feel like inspiration. I really feel like you constrain yourself so much. You don't allow yourself to be who you are. You play cold, you play this, because I feel like that's how you feel like you can protect yourself, but that's not true. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there because I could go on and on. I don't want to go on and on. All right, now I'm gonna use V Love and Tarot's, two of her oracles. I'm using the Autumn's Delight, and then I'm gonna use the Salem Sisters. So let's go ahead and see what it is. Diligence, yeah. It's like you try. I was like, you try. Oh, purity. Okay. All right. Grounding. Yeah. And I'm gonna read these in a weird way, and you're gonna be like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, but rebirth. Yes, that one is 100%. You need that rebirth. That is definitely here. Okay, and sorry, and for those of you who this is like a twin flame feeling here, whatever Tower moment that happened with your connection, it really is meant for you both to grow. And there is, for me, I'm going to say something that's quite big, but I feel like in the offering, maybe not right now, but there is a regeneration of this connection. There is a new awakening coming through here. So why I laughed, because I'm gonna read this in a way that maybe you may not like it. So I'm gonna say it here. So diligence, yeah, you just, again, very analytical, very cold. I almost feel like there's a sense. And again, the purity here is sort of like the same kind of energy I'm feeling. It's a beautiful thing. I love but I feel like you need fire. You need the Ace. And so when I look at purity and I look at all that white, I feel like there's a sense of like, no, you have to kind of get a little dirty. It's sort of like you gotta muck up a little bit. And it's sort of similar energy, group one in that in message, but I feel like there's a sense coming through of like, it's okay to like emotions, to feel our emotions. And so the grounding, I'm also going to say I'm looking a whole other way. I feel like you ground yourself a lot. I feel like you don't allow yourself, your light to shine. And so this actually feels like that too. That 10 of Swords, you take on other people's energy, and by that, I'm glad I'm able to do this. You dim your light for others. And I think that's what I wanted to say when I was saying that you can be happy. And in fact, it's something that you need to do, like be happy. I feel like you ground your energy, like, and not in like, in terms of like, yes, you're grounding your energy because no, I feel like you ground your energy in terms of like, you're meant to take flight, but you keep grounding yourself because you're like, I can't take flight. No, because other people are not ready to take flight. I'm like, no, my friend, here is what I'm going to say to you. Take flight so others can know that it's possible. I really mean that. Take flight, be happy so that other people can see that you can be happy, that they can find happiness. And especially because I feel like maybe you had a tough life in the past, and now I feel like the spirit's saying like, no, we want you to be happy. We want you to have the happiness, if the happily ever after, if that's what you want, the happily ever after, go for the happily ever after. You even here, if it's for the twin flame energy here, the same thing I can say. You need to be the light. You need to allow yourself to take flight, because I feel like you're grounding yourself. It's not the grounding of your energy, but grounding of yourself, your spirit, when you should be actually taking flight. And so I feel like the rebirth is coming forward again. And I feel like that is the time for you to allow yourself this rebirth. Be who you are now, is again, I feel like we tend to not allow ourselves to be this beautiful light, especially you. I feel like you are such a soft and lovely energy. Like, I love your soul right here. Like, I love your energy. You portray this hard, like, exterior, but you're such a soft and gentle energy, and that's fine. Allow yourself to be that. Allow yourself to be happy. I feel like you keep on like, no. And so like, no, and also, if it's not your energy, don't take it. Maybe that might be good for grounding. But it's like, if it's not your energy, don't take it. It's not yours. You don't need to deal with it. And be the light so other people can be like releasing those things. I really feel like you're meant to elevate. And that's what I'm going to say to you. Let's see. I really am liking this. Okay, yeah, look at this. Never ending dancing spell, adult party, never ending, you're mine. It's sort of, yes, it's breaking out of this energy of the swords energy. And like I said, I love the swords energy. I'm not against it. Love how that goes. Okay, moths. Okay. Yes, release freedom. Yes, you see how you conceal your true self. You conceal your true self with that 7 of bats. You can conceal yourself with the 8 of bats too. Release and freedom. That is what it is. All about that. Look at that. Look at this. I want you to see. And then you have blonde hair, sex appeal, flirtation, playful. It's a sense of playfulness. That's the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is very playful. And look at this. You have this because you feel like you have to be responsible. You have to be hardworking. And I'm not saying not to be, but I'm saying you have to also have fun with things. And I feel like that's a big message coming through because you can see it over and over. So we're going to say that's a big message. All right. And now I'm going to use my Spooky Halloween Oracle, my Mystic Night Sight. Let's see what other things. Yeah, it's like opportunities. Seize the opportunities when they come. Whenever that Ace of Wands come, take it. Don't hide yourself. Please take them. Grab on. Oh, look at that. You take on. And the thing is, I have to tell you, this drama, it doesn't feel like it's your drama. And I know this. You're trapped in other people's drama. Pull yourself out, my friends. If it's not your energy, if it's not your drama, pull yourself out. You are not, I'm saying this 100%, you are not meant to be there. You're not meant to be on, you are, I can see it. You're meant to light up. You're meant to be flying. I don't know why you keep getting stuck in other people's drama. It's not yours. Leave it. It's not yours, leave it. You're meant to like be the sun, guide them how they can be happy. I really want to say, be a leader here. You don't lead by grounding your energy, by grounding your own thing. Take flight. I'm saying that 100%. Take flight. Be fun. Have fun. No more. Yeah, see, rise, go up. Take the steps, go up. No longer be down there. I really, you have no idea. And then here, don't take the blame. Actually, here I'm not going to say that you blame. I actually feel like you take the blame. You are a person who just takes it all onto yourself. No more. No more. Do not do this anymore, please. Do not do this. Do not take other people's drama. Do not take the blame for if their life is a drama, if it's all like, that's what they want. You do not want this. I see that you want happiness. I see that you want joy and fulfillment and everything, and you are not allowing yourself to do it because you're being caught up in other people's drama. 100%. Take the opportunities that you are given and go up. You are ascending. I'm sorry that they are not, but you are ascending, and that's what you need to do, my friends. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I got passionate, but that's because I really like your soul. You have no idea. I love your energy. Your energy is like so sweet and so awesome, and then you just kind of like, you hide it. Why? Why do you hide it? Don't hide it. No. Let's see what what advice do you have for the collective of group 2? I'm gonna stop. Yes, what do we have the collective of group 2? What's this beautiful energy? Tell me what guidance we can give this beautiful, beautiful group. What can we do it? Forward. Once we wrap up lessons from one's life chapter, we go through a period of realization that helps us to prepare for another. Set your gaze forward now. Yeah. Oh, look at this. I want you to see this one in bravery. We aren't always aware of our immense strength and power until we need to use it. Embrace yourself now. You are, and I think the bravery for you is acknowledging that you are the light, that you are meant to take flight. It's going to be, I get it. I would understand. I would see why most people dim their light, because in the world where you feel like you would stand out if you actually shine the light, if you're happy when other people are suffering. It feels wrong, but it is not. Because you are guiding others to their path, to their joy, and it's really important for it. I really want to say you are meant to take flight and to lead others along the way, but only by leading by example, never by taking their drama, never taking it. They're like, nope, it's not on you, my friends. Ooh, let's see what is the perfect affirmation for the collective of group. Look at that. Yep. Okay. And these are your affirmations. I was going to just do one, but I feel like there's these 3. And this is the Mystic Dreams affirmation cards by Moonmoth Goddess. So I create space for positive changes. 100%. You are the positive change, my friend. And you create that space for others. By being happy, by choosing your own happiness, by lighting your own path, by taking flight, never being caught in their drama. I am in alignment with the universe, and I really feel like they are. And especially when you're happy, especially when you are the true self. And here we have this. I choose to be happy right now. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave that here for you, group 2. Actually, that was intense, and I really enjoyed it, though. You are awesome, 100%. Let me just say that. I hope you liked this reading. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and please do subscribe. And please, even more importantly, go check out MysticstarSeed. She will guide you more with this energy, especially because I feel like it's the next level for you, or ascending. So go look at her light work, what you need to do now. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting me read your energy. I really and be able to do the reading for you, reading your cards. I truly appreciate you. I am sending you so much love and so much light. Until I see you in the next one. Bye-bye, my dear friends. All right, we're clearing up group 2. All right, so group 3, we're next. All right, my friends from group 3. So you chose the bat. I'm almost kind of say that it feels like you kind of are like the next step in evolution of group 2, but we shall see if that is true or not. I do want to, yeah, because it's a rebirth of some kind. So this is what I'm going to say, that you probably are in some kind of rebirth. Let's go ahead and see what shadow work needs to be happening for you. What shadow work are we going to need to work on for the collective of group 3? What shadow work? Collective of group 3. And always, oh yeah, and also please do consider checking out DivineStarseed, because she's doing the light work. So it's like we're doing collaboration that complements the one reading complements the other. So please go check her out. She's awesome. I always love watching her readings. She's so in tune, you have no idea. So I'm quite honored that I get to do a collaboration with her. So and when you're there, say hi on my behalf. All right, let's see what shadow work collective of group. And I just saw like 2 different butterflies come out. So I do think that you are in need of. So what I would say for you is that there is transformation coming, my friends. Okay, shadow work. When shadow work needs to come through here. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, well, Knight of Pentacles wanted to show up, and then the King of Swords is at the bottom. But I'm actually taking 2 bottom of the text, because when I was shuffling this, or before I the Hangman is your energy here, and so is the King of Swords a little bit here as well. Okay. So I feel like a little bit of your shadow work here is definitely the 7 of Cups. And so what I'm seeing here is that you are unsure. And I want to say you're unsure about your own decisions. You're unsure of whether, that's why you're kind of, you are in a state of like not motion. So there is that. I also feel like this 3 of Cups, which is not a usual 3 of Cups, it's sort of like, for some of you, you might be feeling lonely. But I feel like you're submerged in your emotions. Okay, yeah, I feel like there's your emotions are overwhelming you here. You might just be like, you feel out of. That's an interesting one, because I almost feel like you're feeling left behind, maybe from other friends or something, or maybe you are choosing, again, like maybe needing to be with others because you're afraid to be by yourself a little bit. So that might be for some of you. Please do take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Oh, and I should have done trigger warning. It was like shadow work though, so I'm hoping you're okay with it. I get passionate. I understand. It's all important. This is part of who we are. This is part of our growth process. And so the 7 of Cups is also kind of like, there's a sense of longing. Yeah, it's just, it feels like there's a longing and you're trying to like make a right decision, but you're not even sure. I feel like you don't really trust yourself here. And the 9 of Pentacles energy is actually quite interesting to me, because it's maybe you're too focused on trying to reach that level, because I almost feel like there's, first of all, before I actually even go further though, I do want to say that you mostly have like Pentacle energy and water energy. And there's one of the Swords, but I'm going to discuss that a little bit. But there's no wand energy. There's no fire here. And I feel like that's missing. So maybe for some of you, you're focusing a lot on like finances and kind of forgetting your passion, your what really drives you. Your creativity is also coming through here. The Strength card here is sort of like, it's sort of like your, how do I explain it? I feel like there's a part of you that you're not really seeing. It's sort of like I really do feel like you're trying to focus too much on this 9 of Pentacles energy. But there's a part of you that you're giving up on, like, or you're not listening to here. This Knight of Pentacles, well, first of all, like lots of intuition. Here I would say that you are probably, so group 2 is an empath, but you are, I would say, psychic. They probably were psychic as well, but you are very much so, like, I almost feel like very witchy vibes here with this Knight of Pentacles. Calling in your familiars. I feel like you have a lot of help around you, but you might not be aware of it. I really like this card. I mean, like, this is a great deck. I'm actually gonna, I want to, like, just, I can't show you how awesome it is, but it is really amazing. So it's sort of like this is a sprout growing from a pentacle, like, there's a growth here. And again, though, it feels like your focus is way too much on this. It's sort of like, I feel like the energy here, I feel is like you're lost. That's the energy, yeah. It's like you've lost your true, like, your focus is on something that, and I'm not saying that pentacle is something that's a bad to be focused on. I'm just saying that there's a sense here of, like, you feel like you're losing yourself somehow, like your passion. There's energy here, and so the Hangman energy here is quite lovely. And I always love the Hangman energy, but it feels like, again, it's sort of, and I read it in a different way. It's sort of like you really kind of have to shift your perspective and get to the real core of you. I feel like you're being blind, like, all that glitters isn't gold, and I feel like that's what you're kind of going after the wrong things. I'm because that sounds like a very strong statement, and so I'm not sure if I wanted to say that, but what I'm saying is sort of like your core self is sort of screaming to me right here. It's like, no, yeah, like your focus is not on what really will make you happy, and I feel like you need more creative outlets. Be more creative, more passion needs to be added here. And also, with this King of Swords, I'm actually going to say that it also kind of making a plan. I feel like you're too much in your, like, I can't decide. I can't, like, with this 7 of Cups energy, I feel like you need to make a plan. There needs to be something concrete here. I'm going to clarify these, but I really do feel like, for some of you, you're too much, I don't know, especially with that 3 of Cups. It feels like you're drowning in emotions, drowning in something. I want to say, like, I want to ground you in a sense. And I do actually, like, want the grounding energy, but it's not really the grounding it's like sort of like I want to wake you up a little bit, to, like, your passion, your creativity. It feels confusing. It feels hazy, and I feel like that's how you feel. It's sort of uncomfortable feeling, because I feel like you're more meant to be sure. You have this 8 of, which the strength, you have a lot of inner strength, but you're, like, doubting yourself here too. Let's see what this 3 of Cups is. You have the Hierophant, okay. Learning. Oh, okay, no, I can see why. All right, we'll go with that one. Okay, what is this 7 of Cups doing here? What is the 7 of Cups doing here? What is the 7 of Cups doing here? What is the 7 of Cups doing here? The 6 of Pumpkins. Okay. What is this 9 of Pentacles doing here? What is this 9 of Pentacles doing here? Yes, of Bats, yeah. Okay. What is this 8 of Swords doing? Strength. What is this Strength card doing here? 2 of Ghosts. It's sort of in reverse, though. I didn't usually take a reverse, but it came that way. And I'm gonna go with it. What is this Knight of Pentacles doing here? Ace of Cups coming through here, and then 2 of Imps. And there's my water. There's my energy here. What is this King of Swords doing here? Four of Pumpkins. Okay, yeah. What is this Hanged Man doing here? This is Hangman doing here. Eight of Ghosts. Release. Letting go of something. Alright, I want one more for this Hangman energy. What is this Hangman energy? Queen of Ghosts. Okay. Alright, that's interesting here. Okay, so I'm gonna actually look at this. This Three of Cups, for me, okay, I actually like that it was clarified by the Hierophant. I feel like you're drowning in expectations of, or like what you think are expectations of like society or outside influences. I don't know, this is usually how I would say, like maybe you can go and look at teacher and everything, or learning, but for me, the Hierophant stands for status quo, and I feel like this is you feeling like you're drowning in it, because I feel like in your search for this, it's sort of like you're you feel like you have to do something that you don't have to do. I hope that makes sense. I also feel like maybe for some of you, actually, maybe that is a good idea for the Hierophant, but it feels like you have this idea of what you have to do when you really don't have to do it. There's also a sense of Three of Cups. It's sort of like to me, it's sort of like you're focusing too much on externalities, like, because that's friendship. That I know friendship, and that's a good thing, but it's always like there's people there, and I feel like I almost want to say, like, you gotta decide who you want to be by yourself. I hope that makes sense. Okay, and so the Seven of Cups, which is choices, options, maybe daydreaming too, is the Six of Pumpkins, which is finding balance, but it's also a sense of giving. I feel like for some of you, instead of like your heart is wanting to give, but you also are worried about finances, right? And so what I'm seeing here, because this is sort of like I think is your desire, but I feel like you're being told here that the abundance will come if you actually are willing to, with this Ace of Bats, it's sort of like with following your passion, following your dreams, instead of trying to like follow a different route. That's not that. I hope that makes sense. To me, it just seems like that's sort of what I'm seeing here. And not only that, but I think you have the abundance. I'm gonna skip over here to this one, but I do feel like you need to actually start working on planting seeds here. You need to come up with a strategy. But what I want you to see is like the strategy of how do you make your passion, your desires, how can you make them into a reality? And I feel like that's what I'm seeing here. You have the ability to make it. You don't have to go a path that you think that is going to lead you. Like, I almost want to say to you, if you've been thinking about maybe having like, starting your own business versus like doing the 9 to 5, then you can definitely go for it. It's here it is. It's all about grounding yourself in terms of like, make that decision. Be honest with yourself what your desires are. And what is important to you, in being honest. And here, that's kind of what I want to say. And then make the plan for it. You can plan it for it to make it happen. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of it is like you like to give. You're a giver of something. So I feel like there is this sense of like, yes, needing to do that. Now, the Strength card with the Two of Cups in reverse, I'm going to say here, okay, so I'm going to look at it two ways. For some of you, it's time for you to actually look at yourself, like a reflection of yourself. Our connections are a reflection of how we are with ourselves, right? If they're healthy, are we in a good relationship with ourselves is important. So I feel like there's a need for you to actually take the time and do that. For others of you, I feel like thinking that you have to be but by being by yourself is strength, or like, like that might be for some of you, like you feel like it's strength is being by yourself, being independent, not asking for help, or not being in there in a or that you think that you have to be by yourself. I feel like that's not true. There's like the Two of Cups for me is like the love is there, the potential for that is good. I also want to say that for the Two of Cups, I like to put it up right once I actually see what it is also kind of like, I'm glad you're in this reading, because it's sort of coming together with yourself, like your shadow self and your light self coming together, acknowledging this, because it sort of seems like there's a part of you that needs to see that reflection. You need to see. So it's either reflecting from others, from like a connection, or reflecting in yourself. You need to be good with who you are. And I have to say, there's a need for honesty with who you are and what you really desire. Again, this Knight of Pentacles, like I really love this, but it's sort of like you have to make a choice here. You got to choose the path that leads you to happiness, right? This Ace of Cups, look how many aces you have. The Ace of Bats, which is Ace of Wands, and you have the Ace of Cups, happiness, fulfillment. Following not the status quo, what you expect, what other people expect from you, but really what you want for yourself, what desire. And I want to say something to you here, having the confidence to do it, my friends. I know it's hard to go on and go into the path unknown, or like even going into your own business. That's a hard path to go, but I feel like that's what I like. You have the ability to do it. Really following your passion and your desires is so important. Here, I'm just seeing like, I feel like you have been not allowing yourself. You feel like to really be you in that sense, to really want the desires. But then not only that, but then to actually start taking action is very important. I want you to see something here. So I'm seeing with this Hangman, it's sort of like that we have to leave behind something. In order for us to grow, we have to leave behind something. So when we make a choice, we leave an aspect of our, like something behind, but we move towards something that we think is better. Really listening again to your intuition coming through here. Like I really do feel my psychics are here. So there is a sense, and I love that you chose the Bath, because there is a sense of rebirth here. I feel like maybe you were a different person, and now you've opened yourself up to be something. So to go on a different route, to go on a different, to take a different path that you had planned out for yourself. Like, I'm going to go this route, but then you realize, maybe for some of you, you were woken to yourself, or you thought this was the path because this is what was expected of you, and then you realize that's not what I really want. It's a sort of like your soul is calling out for you to really go on the path that you really desire, which is full of passion and something you're excited about. And so that's what I feel like. The shadow here is not so much like I feel like you feel a little confused. I feel like you're like not sure what next steps to take. That's sort of what it is. But for me, it's sort of like you have to acknowledge that maybe your desires and your dreams have changed, and then taking action accordingly. And then also recognizing that it's okay to change, and also recognizing, yes, that you do have the shadow and light part of you. That doesn't mean like, oh, it doesn't make you any less or any more. It just makes you who you are. Coming to terms with who you are. I think that's the work that you need to do. Making peace with who you are and your desires and what you really want. And almost like, maybe for some of you, seeing the gifts, like, because I feel like maybe if you are like psychic, or if you may be a medium or everything, maybe seeing them, you didn't see them as gifts, but seeing them as the gift, seeing them that maybe that is something that you want to follow, that maybe you are going to have to leave behind something or people behind, but it's okay. I feel like you will find your tribe, and I feel like maybe leaving behind old friends that aren't there for you. I hope this makes sense. Let's see what things are coming through. Yeah, illuminate Hermit, but it's the light that comes here. Oh my God, wow, I love this, light and shadow. It's finding that balance between you. So I highly recommend that you go see Starseed Mumeanha's Mumeanha Starseed, is reading, because I feel like she's gonna balance you out perfectly. So let's go ahead. enough preparation. Yeah, so you need to start taking action. I think that's something you have to do, like making this preparing for yourself, making the choice, and then moving forward with it. So shadow illumination and shadows, finding that balance within yourself. Yeah, love this, love this. And going within yourself, I feel like there is a lot of like, you need to do like a hermit mode kind of, to go in with yourself, not to listen so much to externalities, but into your own inner wisdom. Very important, because that's where your happiness lies. That's where it all is. And this is Autumn's Delight by V Love and Tarot, and this is Salem Sisters by Viva Love and Tarot. Let's go ahead and see what other message. Colonial custom, wealth meeting big jabus. Oh, I guess. So I think what I'm seeing here with this is sort of like you thought that the happiness would be that 9 of Pentacles, and I'm not saying that it isn't, but I think how you get to, oh, that's a beautiful, how you get to the 9 of Pentacles doesn't mean that you have to give up on your desires, on what makes you happy, but rather finding a way to make them a way to make that into like abundance, right? So what I feel that that's important for you, because seems like that is. So boombox, diversion, French luring. I'm actually going to say something to you here. I feel like the diversions, actually, I feel like that's the, because I do feel like there's static, like there's like haziness that keeps clouding your judgment, but it's not, it's just, it feels like there's externalities. So I feel those are like what you feel like you have to do because of like whatever approval of others. So I have to say, like, don't listen to that. Listen to your own intuition, your own inner voice coming through. And it's okay to be weird. I think that's something else. Like, you want people's not to see that, you know, maybe you have special gifts, and you're like, no, looking at them as the gifts that they are, that's important. Not everybody is a medium. Not like, you know, you can try, like, I think everybody has psychic abilities, but I feel like some people are more in tune with them than others, and if that's you, that's a gift. It's not a bad thing at all. And I'm really listening to your beautiful, like, what you really want. It's like you have dreams, not listening to that outside and what you're meant to be. So yeah, and this is my spooky oracle. Yeah, status quo. Yeah, you don't have to follow the status quo. You don't, my friends. You don't need to do that. This is my spooky oracle mystic night sight. For divine masculine. Okay, for some of you there is the sense of like divine masculine coming through, because we did see this. So if for some of you, maybe you want to be with somebody and you feel like you cannot be, so what can okay, yeah, I feel like you don't want to be different, and I feel like you are. It's like, I'm so sorry. It's a sense of the temptation for you is just like to be like everybody else, but you're not meant to be that way, my friend. I want to say I'm sorry, but I'm not. I love that you aren't. And then my masculine, okay, is that you have to actually start taking action on the things that you want. You cannot just wait around. You have to start planning. That's the King of Swords energy. That's, you know, like, that's that energy that you need to, that even the Four of Pentacles, normally I would say, oh, that's, you know, you trying to be in scarcity, but no, I feel like watching it's like you have to plant those seeds that needs to happen. Gotta listen to the messages. I feel like you really do hear like messages. I just feel like you just aren't there. So divine, so there's found divine feminine, masculine connecting to this. And for some of you, maybe you feel like you cannot be who you're meant to be, because you're like, people might not approve. It seems like to me like you should always listen to your own inner guidance in that regard. Like I said, it's okay to be a weirdo. It's okay to be weird. I take pride in it. Like, not pride. I like being weird because that's just something that I am. I can't really change me. I mean, I guess I can, but I can pretend, but who I am is, I'm a weirdo. I am. I'm not gonna say prideful though. I just am me. I mean, if you actually get to know me, I'm very strange. I'm weird. Yeah, well, look, not everybody does pick a cards or creates oracle decks. or, you know, like that's just who I am. Peace. Even amidst this turmoil, peace is available within and around. Be your shelter now. And so that's because you yourself, if you could be at peace with who you are, then everything else is like, it really is. It's like you can kind of see, like, you don't need to actually be anything other than who you are. If you can be at peace with yourself, I think everything just aligns. Miracles. All of your prayers are heard and answered when the answer isn't what you hope for. Okay, all your prayers are heard and answered even when the answer isn't what you hoped for. Ultimately, the answers are highest benefit always. Embrace your resilience and faith now with that. And this is step back. Even when we are striving to be loving, compassionate, and understanding, it is vital to maintain strong boundaries. Allow your space between you and the stress of this situation now. So those are the advice that I have for you. And like such lovely energy too. Okay, let's go ahead and what affirmation is the best for the collective of group 3? And this is the Mystics Dreams affirmation by Moon Moth Goddess. So please give me the best affirmation that we can do. So I deserve profound and passionate love. Yes, nothing that, if you know, that's important. Yeah, maybe connecting to your true divine feminine here. Oh, wow. So we have to work. So this seems like an important, I'm worthy of unconditional love. So maybe you have to walk away. Wow. I didn't see that at all, but hey, it makes the sense with the Two of Ghosts. And with the Eight of Cups there, you have to, like, this is like, maybe you need to actually find your true masculine versus something that's like not that at all. I love who I see in the mirror. That's so a lot of self-love needed here for you. Those are good affirmations. One last one from the collective of group 3. Today I abandon my old habits. Yeah, I'm just walking away. I feel like I would say like the old me, because I feel like you've changed, and I feel that that's the transformation, the rebirth. You have transformed, and I feel like you're uncomfortable with this new transformation because it's leading you on a different path. You're not going where you thought you were going to go, but you're going on a different path completely, and that's okay. I want you to say that that's okay, because it's for your higher good. Yeah, so I hope this makes sense. Please go check out Starseed Mulima's other part of the video. She's awesome. You're gonna love her so much, and she's so wise and so much wisdom and so much insight. So please go check it out. If you did like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up, and please do consider subscribing. We are in the 13 days of Halloween, so we'll have lots of fun things to come up, so be on the lookout. And if you want, put the notification bell so that you know when something new is up. All right, until I see you in the next one, I am sending you so much love, so much light. Thank you for letting me read your cards. Bye-bye, my dear friends. Oh, we did it.